Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, brother. Well, as you can see, Lucky Boy continues to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. That's why we're all kilted up and wearing the green and having a good time. We started out early with a good hearty Irish breakfast.
Full Irish.
And, some Guinness and some Jameson, because you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
There's a lot of truth to that statement. Mm-hmm. So yes, in honor of St. Patrick's Day, today we're drinking the standby, Old Faithful Jameson. Which I know is not your favorite, but...
Okay.
Yeah. Sláinte. And because...
I want to say, Jameson...
Okay.
I don't have anything against Jameson. I said this to you before off camera. The single malts I can drink with impunity. The next day I feel fine. I go out drinking Jameson. The next day I feel like I've been hit with a bag full of hammers.
Maybe it's how much, as opposed to what.
Maybe.
You drink.
Maybe.
So, in honor of my Irish heritage, I don't want to drink just a whiskey this morning, but we need something to wash down that full Irish we just had.
Sure.
We also have beer. Got to have both. This is from a little place. This was actually a gift to me from one of my vendors the other day.
I love this bottle.
It's hard to read. Surfridge Brewing, which is down in Centerville or Centerbrook, a section of Essex, Connecticut, down by the Essex steam train, down by the Connecticut River. And they an electrician had their hand at wrapping this bottle up by the looks of it. Or at least they knew the cap wasn't going to come loose.
Cheaper than wax.
It is. Here, why don't you say something for a minute while I don't look like an ass trying to figure this cap out.
St. Patrick was, I understand, in fact, born in Scotland, and that's why the Scots love him so much. And as much as I love the Irish, there were never snakes in Ireland. Just saying. It was a metaphor for paganism.
What do the kids say? Cool story, bro. So this is a 5.5% rye ale.
Oh, I love the rye ales.
This is not something I've had before from this brewery or this style at all. So
continue with that bootleg ass theme. I love that bottle. I love it's great.
See the label you can see nicely through the clear bottle, but not with the brown.
Well, we'll have to drink it down enough to see what the label is and show the camera.
I think we can handle that.
I think we can handle
that. So here, maybe you can see that. Surfridge Brewing from Essex, Connecticut.
It's like one of those pens from the 60s when you turn it upside down. The
little naked lady shows?
Yeah, she loses the pinup loses her skirt.
Yep.
Early porn.
So, I like that.
Malty with a rye back. I'm down.
I'm going to say it's almost got like and not in a bad way, but like a skunky weed smell to it. Do you get that? Very hint, and again, not in a bad way. What a great beer.
Yeah, I kind of dig it. I'll have to link them. Let's link them in this video.
Yeah, that's some good shit. So this guy gave me 2 bottles. He gave me this rye ale, and he gave me their stout. And I could not get the details on the stout, because when I went to their website, the stout wasn't listed as on tap, so it didn't have any details, which is unfortunate, but it was a really good stout.
Nice.
Tasty. I like that beer. They're only like 30 minutes from me, so.
Nick Goss coming through again.
Yeah, man.
Here. I have my skin dew here. That's Gaelic for the black knife, the hidden knife. Every Scotsman wears that in his sock when he's wearing a kilt. You never know when you need to open a box.
Or shank a bitch, as my wife would say.
I was going to go there. But Amy is a little scary when she talks like that.
Man, we had an incident at the bar the other night, about a week ago. And there was these two guys, and I'm not going to go into too much detail, but they were a little disrespectful to one of the females in our party.
That's a no fucking fly zone right there, man.
Me and that woman's husband were debating whether these guys needed an attitude adjustment or not. And I guess I would say that I was prepared to go to jail for him, but I was hoping that I could convince him that this was not the fight to have. And fortunately, that was not the fight that we had that night. But meanwhile, I'm preparing a couple people, like, you know, this might go down here. This was not cool what just happened, and I don't know what this gentleman is going to do in our party. And Amy's like, yeah, let's go. I'm ready. I'm like, what the fuck am I dealing with here?
We have to have Amy on the show sometime. I love your wife. I have a crush on your wife.
All right, give me that knife again, please. Oh wait, maybe it opens this. Oh, never mind. I don't need to break the seal. The seal is on the hinge. Look at
Shout out once again to Nick Goss, who reps Doc, right?
Right.
Reps Dissident.
Right. So today we're smoking Dissident, and specifically we're smoking Block. Dissident, Block. I've smoked a few of their cigars before, and they are wonderful
I've enjoyed
smokes.
them every time.
Wonderful smokes. Just cool, kind of 80s punk, the imagery. I hope that you guys can see that. Really cool imagery on all their packaging. Here, let me,
Yeah, my accoutrement is in my backpack.
my fat hands don't fit down in here that well. There's a lighter, there's a punch on the bottom if you want the punch.
No, I'm gonna, maybe
Here's the cutter.
Let me use the punch. I've been into the punch lately, but I only hit the middle of the stick about 70% of the time. I'm a much better shot than I am puncher.
This is a slightly smaller ring gauge, and it's box pressed, or almost semi box pressed. I've had this one, but I have not given you this one yet.
I smoke block, but not this one.
Dissident, you mean? Blockson
Dissonant,
style,
yeah.
yeah.
Dissonant, but not the block. Well, yeah, I prefer a ring gauge bigger, but it's that box press, man. I'm just like a fan of that. No, a nice smooth smoke, but really good deep flavor, rich. What's the wrapper on this? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I would have to look it up. I don't think it says. Yeah, see, this is a 46 ring gauge, a little smaller than we're used to. It does not say what the wrapper is on this particular one. I know the distributor is Oveja Negra. And if you go to their website, they list the different brands that they distribute for. And they have a complete listing of all the varieties of Dissident cigars and what the wrapper and binder and fillers are.
Well, we're drinking Jameson and we're smoking Dissident cigars, and it's St. Patrick's Day, so once again, up with the Irish. Sláinte.
Sláinte vá, brother. So I guess we kind of came into this episode topicless. Not topless. Clearly, we're dressed. Topicless. But I guess being St. Patrick's Day and, you know, repping our Irish pride, guess the only thing we could really say to everybody out there, let's not use this as an opportunity to sell or market Lucky Boy, but, you know, this is who we are. This is what we're proud of. We're proud of our heritage. We're proud of where we came from.
In my mind, are the people watching this are sitting down and pouring a dram and lighting up a cigar or their favorite smoke of whatever variety, and join us around the table.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. St. Patrick's Day is not celebrated in Ireland like it is here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting too, the Scottish diaspora, the people of Scotland that have located out of Scotland and across the world, and there's millions of us. They hold those traditions, especially people that came out during the Highland clearances, like my family did, and they hold those traditions in ways that modern Scottish people don't.
Mm-hmm.
And the same is true, I think, with the Irish.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and maybe that's true of all peoples who migrate away from their homeland and become what's called this diaspora of their origins, right? And they say on St. Patrick's Day, everybody's a little bit Irish. And that's true, except for the Scottish, we're still Scottish. But we do love our Irish cousins.
Yeah, my own Irish cousin, there's a whole dichotomy that within me that's a little bit of both, plus Welsh.
Sure.
And some English. But, you know, shit happens.
Yeah, well, you know.
I've got my Welsh going here. It's the Welsh dragon and my Welsh pin, even though I'm wearing the Irish heritage tartan.
Well, I'm wearing Clan MacDonald custom sporing.
Why'd you choose McDonald?
Well, because that's my last name.
So I guess the message here today is, no matter who you are and what your heritage is and where you're from, you're all welcome in America. America was the welcoming center and the melting pot and mixing the witch's brew of who's who for centuries. You know, take your day, take your heritage and represent it and be proud and be who you are.
In some circles, it's not so popular to venerate immigrants, but I'll tell you now that this country was built on generation after generation
100% immigrant based.
Of immigrants. The Irish, the Italians, the Germans, they all came and they all brought culture, and they all were cathedral builders and monument builders and steel workers, and yeah, immigrants built this country. And my family, on my mother's side, she has ancestors that came over with the Mayflower.
Mm-hmm.
But on
my paternal grandfather's side, I do also.
Nice.
Yep.
We have so many connections.
So many.
You and Brunswick and all that stuff. So
Well, New Brunswick's an interesting story. I'll say that when you're done.
yeah. So there are a lot of let's say legends about my grandfather and how he came to be here in the United States. But my research shows that he crossed the Canadian border illegally, and yeah. So I'm on my father's side.
Don't worry, I'll be okay.
It's okay.
Went down the wrong end. Woo! That woke me up.
Yeah, there was a lot of legend about him being born here or born there, but I've got the paper trail. I know exactly. And so my name is MacDonald, M-A-C.
Mm-hmm.
My father has half brothers and sisters by his father, my grandfather, and they're McDonald's. They think they're Irish, and there's their mother was Irish, so they're but they're
So
like.
do you know where the spelling of the name changed and why?
I do. There's two possibilities. The first one is that my grandfather crossed illegally into the United States and switched the spelling from M-A-C to M-C to sort of dodge. But the one I like better is this, that back when he was a young man in Canada, if you were Catholic, the government would extract 10% tithe to the Catholic Church from your pay. So he changed it to MC. He's like, I'm not Catholic, I'm a Protestant. It's MC. It's MC to save that 10%. To which I say, hell yeah, that's the kind of pirate-ass people I come from. That's the story I prefer.
So here's some more similarities between us. There's a change in spelling in my last name too.
But before you go,
Okay,
I
I'm
wanna
not
just
going
say,
anywhere.
Before I knew this brother of mine, I didn't know. So my grandfather and my great-grandfather both worked as prison guards in New Brunswick, Canada. And, I knew that history. It was months or even years after we met that I realized your family's from New Brunswick.
Not originally.
Okay.
And
Now
the story explains that. So,
Sure.
yes, my family goes back to the 1500s and 1600s in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
And trace back one member on the Mayflower and multiple members along the way in various times through the 15 and 1600s. My 12 ex-great-grandfather was actually one of the judges at the Salem witch trials. Not a proud moment in family history, but nonetheless. But
That's pretty interesting history right there.
but pre-Revolutionary War. So the name Sewell originates from the northern England region of Seven Wells. Hence the Gaelic or original Old English name Sewell, Sewell, Seven Wells. Well, during the Revolutionary War, there were some patriots and some Tories. And the ones who were the Tories, who were loyal to the crown, migrated to New Brunswick and changed the spelling of the name from Sewall, which was the original spelling, to Sewell, because they didn't want to associate with the heretic patriots that they left behind in the colonies. So my spelling of the name comes from the branch of the family that moved in the 1770s up to New Brunswick and then didn't come back until 1949 when my paternal grandfather immigrated back to the United States from New Brunswick. So
Interesting.
similar storylines. Yep. Centerville, Woodstock area, right over the border from Holton.
Yeah.
So the western New Brunswick up against Maine.
Yeah, great riding up there.
Oh, beautiful
Just
countryside.
so great hunting, great fishing, great riding,
Yeah.
just outstanding. Several years ago, me and a couple of my buddies did this 2-week motorcycle backpacking trip through Nova Scotia. And the cool part is when you're coming up the southeastern coast of Nova Scotia, there's an area where it's all British. Like the Union Jack is painted on the roads and the pubs look like little English pubs and etc. And then another section and it's the French. And it's all French cuisine and
Tabernacle.
right. And then you get farther up and then it's all the Scottish Gaels are up there and it's all, you get up to Cape Breton where my people first immigrated from and Antigonish, which some Americans mispronounce as Antigonish, but it's Antigonish. And that's where they came secondarily. But very cool to see the little pockets of different areas that settled the French, the English, the Scots. Yeah, it was a great trip. I would love to revisit that trip.
I love going to Canada. And I'm telling you, this summer, we got to ride up to Ottawa. That little bar in the Byward Market. Actually,
I am salivating. So talk. I don't know if we've done this on tape before. Tell me about this bar. Tell me about this Shangri-La of which
Shangri-La of Scotch whiskey. So actually, the guy that gave me the beer was born and raised in Ottawa, and he knows the bar well. And we actually had a long talk about it a week or two back when I saw him. And so there's if you look at a map of the northern part of the city of Ottawa, you've got, and excuse my pronunciation because I don't speak French, although it's not a French-speaking province, but a lot of the names are French. So you've got Parliament right here, top dead center, let's call it on the map. Then you've got the Canal Rideau, which is the canal that runs through the city. Right adjacent to Parliament. And adjacent to that is a hotel, probably one of the original hotels, Chateau Laurier, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And that's where obviously everybody that's who's who stays when they come, dignitaries and so forth, when they come to visit Parliament. That's where they all stay. Beautiful hotel, amazing place. A lot of great history in the hotel. I got a great story that I'll go to next. But right next to that is a region or a part of the city called the Byward Market. It's, 6-8 blocks wide by 6-8 blocks deep.
I've heard of it.
Great little area with shops, bistros, little cheese shops and wine shops, but there's a bar there. There's multiple bars, but there's this one bar there, and I forget the name of it offhand. It's in the southwest corner of the Byward Market, and it's a Scottish bar. And this is Mecca for Scotch drinkers. The walls, from one end to the other, is floor-to-ceiling Scotch. So high and so much that they have the rolling ladders, like in the old libraries, to get up to the shelves. And they have binders on the bar that you just read through thousands of different scotches with all the different tasting notes that go with those. We could be fucked up for months. I'm just saying. There's so much scotch in that place.
In order to accomplish that, they must be running bottles that you can only get in Scotland. Like what we get here, we get some, but we don't get.
We're limited.
We're limited, correct. Yeah. Even though, like a couple of years ago, there was a 25% tariff on Scotch whiskey into this country. 25%. Like, I don't know what politician decided that was a good idea.
The same ones that tax cigars in New York State.
Yeah,
that's all I got to say about you fuckers.
Yeah, those guys need to be run out on a rail, like in that scene from "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" when they literally ran him out on a rail. It's a great scene. So I was expecting Scotch to decrease in price by 25%, but that was my young naivete.
But it's increasing in popularity, which is offsetting the decrease in price.
Hipsters ruin everything.
If you're a hipster and you have a beard, we love you too.
Yeah. Cheers to the hipster bearded brethren. We think you're great. Just drink less whiskey, please. Coffee. Go to coffee.
Well, it started there, didn't it? Wasn't the whole hipster vibe like the whole Washington and Seattle and Starbucks? Wasn't that the original craze?
Yeah.
Kind of? And again, not judgmental in any way, but...
No, listen, I appreciate hipsters.
Yeah,
they're stylish. I can remark on the stylish. I think
they're stylish in ways that I couldn't be.
Yeah. I think you shouldn't dress like a lumberjack unless you can fell a tree. However, I get the style notes, and the hipsters, man, they're rocking some epic beards, and I always appreciate that.
I get it though, because to me, flannel is always in style. Flannel is just, it's classic. Flannel is the modern day fucking tartan kilt, right? Flannel's, it migrated from here to here. It's the same thing, it's just they flipped it up. Well, sort of, but.
Okay, we'll go with that.
We'll go.
We'll call that. We'll call that good. And
I'm not wrong though.
We're gonna cut it off right there.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Yeah. So that's. Maybe we should throw some cameras on the bikes. I assume we're going up there on bikes.
We have to, dude. It's only like 6 or 7 hours. It's not too long of a ride.
Let's
get up through Vermont and get into some back roads.
Let's vlog the whole run.
The problem is we have to go through Quebec province.
Great fishing up in Quebecois.
Tabernac. Or we can go through New York and come up.
Best strippers in Canada up in Quebec.
Hey, there's good strippers up in Quebec.
All right.
We sidetracked.
If some of you guys aren't Letterkenny fans, I feel a little disappointed. But if you are, comment your favorite Letterkenny quote.
Yeah, that's what I appreciate about you.
Is
You
that-
always,
Is that what you appreciate about me?
well, that being said, we're probably getting a little long in the tooth here.
We are. But listen, we just wanted to wish all of our bearded brethren, their special friends, and their families a really great St. Patrick's Day.
Even though this is going to come to you 2 days after St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, but you know, in spirit, we're there with you today. Now, if you're watching parades or marching in them, as many of my dear friends are marching today in parades as pipers and drummers, have fun, be good, be safe. Remember, have fun, safety second, stay classy.
Cilantro, brother.